Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is our Auric review. I was very excited to place this order. So excited that I bought the wrong shade of Glow Lust, but that's fine. We can correct things. I know how to correct things. That's all fine and well. Anyway, we've got two little tutorials for you that we're going to speed through. So she's using the Temper shadow, the rose goldy one. I'm using the cool toned one, clearly, and the little Auric Glow Lust things, hence the orange shade that I was referring to. So if you're interested in seeing our review and final thoughts, then just keep on watching. Alright, so this is the Auric Glow Lust. I have mine in the shade, Selenite? I think this is the second lightest, or maybe the third. I'll have to like figure it out. But I used this as a foundation yesterday. It performed beautifully as a foundation. So my skincare is already done, like all that jazz, same thing as I normally do. Today I'm gonna use it in more of a primer function as well as a liquid highlight function. If you can hear the wind outside, it is a snow day here in Iowa, and it is a bad one, so my apologies on that. But yeah, I'm going to be trying out the Glow Lust again, but this time as a base and then as a liquid highlight. And I'm also going to be demoing the smoke reflect shadow. This is the rose gold one. I can't tell. Is that the name? Oh, Temper. So I'm just going to start out with one pump of this. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Sam said in her video that this had less opacity than the Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, actually. I feel like this has a little bit more opacity to it, to the point where it's a little more foundation-like. Like, I feel like it evens out my skin tone really well. I mean, my skin is a little red from like touching it or whatever, but I feel like it evens out my skin tone and adds just this gorgeous glow. Like, this is very, very comparable to the Hollywood Flawless filter. It's just a little bit thicker in texture. I'm just gonna add a little bit more on my forehead, but it's a beautiful product. I would say, just based on how much I've used it so far, that it's not like a need necessarily. I don't think any of these products are needs, but obviously we bought them. This is very up our alley, and it's not intended to be a foundation, but I feel that it works really well that way, just so you know. So anyway, yeah, this is what it looks like as a primer. So I'm going to put on all of my base stuff, and we're just going to speed through that. So then you guys, I'll let you know if there's any skipping issues, any patchiness issues. Again, I used it yesterday, so I don't foresee that happening, and I trust Samantha with my life. So yeah, let's speed through this base. Okay, so the majority of my base is done, aside from this, utilizing it as a liquid highlight. I had no issues with it. I think it looks lovely. I have no problems at all. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand. I don't really know how much I'm supposed to use as a highlighter, so I'm just going to take my sponge to apply this all in the spots that I like to glow. Okay, that was not enough. My only concern with this is due to the opacity. I'm worried that as a liquid highlight it's going to cast a little, so we'll see about that. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. I do think it didn't cast. That's not the word I'm looking for here, but it did. This happens with every liquid highlighter, I should clarify. It did take away some of my blush, so I'm going to add a little bit more blush. It's not like a huge concern to me. If I'm doing an all cream base, then it doesn't really matter. I should have thought to do blush after highlight instead. It's just not the steps that everybody takes, you know? I feel so pressured to adhere to societal norms. Now I'm gonna go into one of these eye things. So this is the rose gold one. Again, this is the shade Temper. And I don't know if you're supposed to keep this cap on there. I would like some clarification on that. I might see if I can, like, I don't know, ask her on Twitter or something. But I have kept it in here thus far. I'm going to not prime my eyes today just because I'm not going to be doing a wear test type thing today. This is the first of a couple videos that we're planning to film, so there's no need to prime. And I think I'm gonna use a brush for this. So this is one from BH Cosmetics from their marble set. The name is rubbed off, but it's just a little kind of dense fluffy brush. And since there's some cream product like on the cap here, I'm gonna add a little bit of this and start on my eyelids. My only concern with these is just honestly the longevity, how they crease, how they layer with other eyeshadows as well. But today, because I want to keep this very on brand for Sam and for Auric, I want to do like pretty minimal makeup. Cream shadows are not something that I'm ultra familiar with either, so I don't really know how a typical cream shadow performs. It's really, really easy to put on. I have no issues here. I'm gonna keep layering it a bit just to see. And this is a really, really beautiful kind of rose gold because it isn't too orange, and it's not too like gray either. It does have that warmth in it, but it's not an orange warm. It's like a natural, it's like a faux tan kind of warm. I really like it. I'm really excited to see how this works layering the topper on here, because this, although very pretty and probably something that a lot of people would love for everyday use or whatever the case is, this is not a type of shadow that I would wear often, just because the nature of the makeup that I do. This is not very typical for me, but I do like it on occasion, and mainly we got this for the sake of review and for the sake of supporting Sam, because we just adore her. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of this up here. I think I blended it out too far, but these are really easy to control as well. I'm not finding any issues with that. And the fact that it hasn't instantly creased is kind of promising to me. And I should mention, these are weighted. Like, these feel really super luxe. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with this topper shade on the top portion, so it, you know, screws off for the cream. You got this top portion. And I'm going to place that on. This is definitely very, very sheer, and it's intended to be sheer, so I don't find issue with that. I'm actually gonna try it. Let's see. I'm gonna try it on like a scratchier fluffy brush and see how much I can get out of this, because it is pretty hard, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's not super easy to pick up, I don't feel. Not as easy as some of my other shadows, but I know it's supposed to be like that, and god damn, that is beautiful. Holy moly. It has like this, I don't know, this like vibe to it that's very like mature while still being like just really, really gorgeous. Holy god. I probably will not utilize this very often still. Again, this just isn't a type of product that I'm used to or something that I tend to gravitate towards. We like to do, you know, more bold makeup, but I'm not mad at that at all. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna pop on some mascara, do a little like lip moment, and then I will do like a close-up of the eyes for you so you can see the sparkle. I'll probably add an inner corner of sorts, and yeah, I will be back in just a moment. Okay, and then here is a close-up. So you can see there's definitely like some dimension here. They haven't creased yet. I do expect them to on an unprimed lid. This would, for me and my oily eyelids, this would require like a mattifying primer. But yeah, this is what it looks like all close up. On my inner corner, I have Ladybird from ColourPop. Okay, so this is what I'm looking like with everything all done. I really like what I tried so far. None of this is, or not, at least the eyeshadows, they are just not going to be a part of my everyday routine. That's just kind of the way it is, and that is fine. I really like the effect that it gives, and I see why a lot of people would kind of gravitate towards this for like a one and done work type look. So yeah, I am very satisfied. All right, so I'm not sure how Vic did it, but I'm gonna start with eyes first because that's how I do everything. Anyway, I'm gonna prime my eyelids with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, because this is my project pan. And I'm gonna use the cooler tone, the silver shadow called Ego. I don't even know if you have to prime your eyelids with this, but I crease like crazy. A lot of people say that these are budge proof, but people say that about the Kat Von D primer too, and it's not. All it does is melt, so. That wind, holy shit. So again, I'm gonna use the shadow in the shade Ego. I'm gonna start out with the cream. Vic said this too, I can almost guarantee, but I just don't know if you're supposed to keep this plastic piece or not, so I'm just gonna keep it to be safe. I'm gonna use a Morphe M456 brush. It's like a smaller kind of tapered blending brush. It's not super dense either. I'm hoping it'll work pretty well for this. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that cream shadow on my finger first and just tap it into my outer corner, just so I can kind of get a feel for, well, I guess all over, but get a feel for like the shade. And then I guess I'll start blending it out. Let me get a mirror. And I'm just going to blend over that with the brush. I am not somebody that uses cream shadows pretty much ever, even though I know that they're typically like a little bit more one and done shadows, which would make sense with part of my vibe, but yeah, not something that I use a lot of, but I just had to test these out because they're, I mean, it's Sam's brand. I'm gonna dip directly into the pot now to intensify that. But Sam has been my favorite influencer forever, so I had to buy more than just the Duty primer thingies, the liquid highlighter, because I had to know. We literally have a full face of Samantha Ravindell made me buy it up on her channel because I literally buy so much from her recommendations. Oh, that's really nice. Definitely not as dark as I thought it would be, which is totally fine. I have no issue with that. So that was super easy to blend out too. I have no patchiness, no weird like grabby areas. It definitely blends into like a nice satiny kind of vibe. But I am gonna take a little bit on my finger again and then just place it right on the outer corner to get the most like opacity, I guess. Just to see how much we can build that. I don't think I like that with my finger. Brush is the way to go, at least with this shade, with this eye primer on my eyelids. Yeah, brush fixed that right up. So, in my opinion, best applied with a brush. Then I'm gonna go in with the topper shade, and I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna use my finger for this. Oh, there's a mirror on this too, cute. I can barely see out of that. It's kind of like greeny, almost. It's a nice like pewter shade, kind of. I'm just gonna put that, whoa, that's kind of intense. It's definitely more intense than I thought it would be. I have no glitter primer or anything on under that. Well, I think I'm just going to bring that all over, huh? That's very nice. Yeah, that's cute. I'm just gonna take that original brush and tap right there. Kind of blend it, but I love blown out shimmer looks, so like this is like my shit. But that's all I'm gonna do for the eyes, so I'm going to off camera do the other eye and clean up this side, and then we can get on to the base. Eyes are done. I think before I like put on my mascara and stuff, I might do a little bit of like black shadow like right there to kind of intensify everything. I do really like this. It's just pretty sheer for like a gray for my personal preference, you know? If this was like a bronze or a rose gold, I would feel it, but this, I just feel like I need a little bit of depth, but that could change when I put on mascara. I don't know. I didn't buy the bronze shadow because we don't need another bronze. So I got rose gold. Now for the Glow Lust, I bought the shade Citrine, which is just a little darker than I expected it to be. I wasn't sure based on the swatches and stuff if I should get this one or the one below it. But I know that I like a bronzier kind of primer. It's kind of dark. It's very similar to the shade I got in the e.l.f. What do you call it? The e.l.f. freaking CC cream, and that one's like way too dark. So I used this yesterday as foundation and I really liked it, but I had to neutralize it with some concealer. So we're gonna see today, now that my self tanner's on and fully developed, if I need to neutralize it. I think I will though, because it's just, yeah, it's just a little orange for my undertone and just a little bit too dark, but I don't mind that. I can very easily fix that. So that's just my fault with the shade. Vic, come here. Not too dark, huh?
Oh my gosh.
You're like a pumpkin. Oh my goodness. I just had to show you. But since we're twins, we have 2 different shades, so it's no big deal. I'm just gonna mix the other one in, which is what, citrine? No, selenite. This one was citrine. I'm so stupid. I'm gonna mix a little bit of this one in to neutralize it, but that is entirely my fault. The formula is gorgeous though. I really like the formula. It's just the shade is a little pumpkin-y for me. Yeah, just mixing that in helps a lot. You know, still too orange, but you know, we'll get there. I just feel this formula is fairly thick. I don't know. I do. I just feel like it's fairly thick. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but it feels very thick to me. Very like nourishing, like a nice like lotion. But with a pump of that other shade, it's not too bad. It's definitely still kind of like orangey, but it like once I put concealer on, it's gonna look fine. So I'm not mad at it, but I definitely should have got a shade lighter. So I'm gonna use the Glossier Stretch Concealer in the shade G11 and put that on with my, whoa, that was a lot of concealer. I'm so stupid today. All right, I'll wipe some of that back in the pot. Spread that around my face. So I'm just gonna show you how to neutralize it and then we'll speed through the rest of the base, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm very well aware of what is happening and how orange I was. I'm just gonna use a brush to finish that off because I can't be bothered to blend that long with that much product with my fingers. Concealer neutralized that fine, so I don't look like a pumpkin anymore. It looks great. I really like it. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my base and come back, especially when my skin's calmed down a little bit because I have sensitive skin. I get really red, extra red when I rub things into my face. So you guys can see how it looks as a foundation, but I really like the look of it. I mean, clearly the undertone and shade is wrong for me, but I do really like it, and I bet this would make a really good bronzer topper. It'd be orange as shit, but it'd work well. Alright, so I'm finished with my base. I could use this as a highlighter, but I'm not going to. I don't like highlighter. I stopped liking highlighter a long time ago. And I'm trying to use it more, but look, I'm already glowy. I'm already covered in glow. I don't need a highlighter. So that's all for the base. I'm going to finish up everything, my lips and my eyes, and then I will show you the completed look. But so far so good. I really do love the Glow Lust. I knew it was gonna be a hit. Okay, here, excuse me. Okay, here's the completed look. I really do like the eyeshadow a lot more than I thought I would, honestly. But this one is quite intense in comparison to the other shade, Temper. So that could be why, and I really like intense things. You guys know. I love the Glow Lust. It's gorgeous, but I will save all my final thoughts for the video. So here's the completed look from far away. I will also give you guys a close-up shot before we get into the outro, but okay, I have to be in autofocus for the close-up shot, so I'm so sorry for the noise, but All right, so we are going to, we'll roll in some like comparison swatches, things like that, similar veins like our Charlotte Tilbury quads and maybe some Super Shock shadows from ColourPop. We don't own any of these like cream powder kind of compact things. Like I know Tom Ford has some. I know Charlotte Tilbury has cream shadows, but we don't own those either. But I think this is very on brand for Samantha, and I think the products are definitely really beautiful. I don't think anybody needs them, to be honest, because there are similar items on the market, but I think if you want to support a brand in good conscience, this would be a good one to support. Yeah, I'm biased. I do love Sam with my whole heart and soul. I figured I bought the eyeshadows on a whim because I was like, well, I do want to do a video on it, and I know that these kind of shadows are not great for our collection. We like a lot of color, we like a lot of punch, we like, you know, Cleona, JD Glow, like that kind of stuff. So I knew that these wouldn't be quite up our alley, but I still wanted to try them. I wanted to, you know, support Sam, and I wanted to see what they were about, because maybe after I try them, you know, they might be up my alley, like who knows. I do really like the cool tone shade. It seems like Temper is a little more sheer. It's a little less impactful, at least the toppery shade is. It's almost like a hard pan, it feels like. It's just not as intense. This one is like a little bit sheerer than like a standard metallic, more, but Just a Kiss vibes from the Desert Colors Desi Katie collab. That little sparkly toppery shade. This one has more of that kind of payoff. Yeah, it's really intense, really gorgeous. I am going to play around with them a little bit more in the future, hopefully. We've got a ton of shit, so it's hard to like plan around this, but I would like to see how they pair with colorful eyeshadows, just to see how much use we can get out of them, yada yada yada. But I think that pairing like this shade could pull really, really green next to blues and greens. So I think that would be really pretty. I think it might also look really, really good with purples. So I think that if I were to pair it with other color combos, it would be more up my alley. Not that it's not gorgeous, because I do really like the way this turned out, but it's just not, I wouldn't day to day wear this, because I like color more day to day. Yeah, we definitely, definitely the Glow Lust is something that's up our alley, assuming we have the correct shades. Mine works just fine. I like mine a lot. But again, it's very similar to like Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. So it's not like you can't get similar or comparable products on the market. This one is just a little different, and really for this brand, you're paying for the luxe-ass packaging. Yes. I'm blown away by how this looks and feels. But you're also paying for Sam and the name and the whole vibe behind the brand. And it's a new brand, so you gotta pay for that, I mean. And Canadian shipping, also. No, it's made in the US. Oh, I thought it was Canadian. I thought most of their warehouses are located in the US. Oh, I guess probably that's her main audience, would be US and Canada, so. Yeah. I thought it was in Canada. But I do really, really like the products. I don't really have any complaints or anything like that, other than the fact that my Glow Lust is just a hair too orange. But that is, again, entirely my fault. On launch day, I was so... I gotta get it, because I was so scared it was gonna be like the Robbie Christie launch or something, where everything's fucking crashing. You gotta check out 16 times, or Natasha Denone's Black Friday 2 years ago, where I spent $600 on accident because they put my order through 100 times. Like, stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure I could get in, get out, grab my shit. So I probably should have done research on the shade I wanted before, but I didn't. And that's fine, because if I mix these two shades, it works out fine. Swimmingly. Yeah, so... yeah, verdict is, it's very nice. It's high quality stuff. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just up for you to determine, or up to you to determine if this is going to be something that you want to spend your money on, or if this is something that you could pass on. Like, that's about all. Same with any launch, but this one I feel is, since they're more basic products, it's almost, it feels less exciting. Like it's not super colorful, not super unique necessarily, in my opinion. But it's really beautiful. And it's very on trend right now. I feel like fresh face, really sheer, glittery eyes, stuff like that. That is the trend right now, is just minimal makeup. So it's very on. It was a good time to launch these things also. Yeah, I do want to mention also, that launch went so fucking smoothly. Kayla, our friend Kayla, had problems, so I placed the order for her, because I was like, oh fuck, like you can't miss it. She loves Sam just as much as I do. So I placed the order for her, and she just Venmo'd me, but most people didn't have any issues getting into the site on launch day. Like, I didn't see a bunch of like tweets to Sam like, Sam, it's not working. Like, everybody was like, well, that was easy. I was in and out, no problem. That was nice. That was what kind of magic she's working, but other brands need to take note. That was nice, but that's all for our little review. Basically, in my opinion, I would 100% recommend this 100 times over. I really, really like it. It's definitely not as metallic as Charlotte Tilbury, but gorgeous and very dewy and like plumping almost. Like, yeah, it's just thick. Very like supple, like supple, like a baby's booty, like a fresh dew on a leaf, you know, it just feels great. But that is all from us today. So if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Comment down below if you bought anything from Auric, if you liked my orange face. And we hope to see you in the next one. Bye.